All right. So what we're going to do is we got to get to the pitch. Actually, you know what? Let's actually loop this quickly before we go to the pitch. Let's just play quickly this Mike Hanna segment. We have a minute. This is Mike Hanna, of course, friend and regular of the show, his report on American Muslim responses to Christ Church. And again, you know, just underline the obvious point. Donald Trump, just as the terrorist who committed that action wrote in his manifesto, this guy at the very least is a cultural agent of this terrorism. And it's reflected in this. We'll just play about a minute of this report from Mike Hanna on Al Jazeera.
It was a somber day of prayer for American Muslims, all expressing sorrow for those who died in the New Zealand mosque attacks.
I'm absolutely heartbroken, as everybody is today. I woke up to the news. My phone was blowing up with this, and I needed to come to Jummah prayer.
But in a nation that has seen its share of attacks on houses of worship, there's concern about what many view as sometimes inflammatory comments that are uttered by the president.
I actually think that the Islamophobic rhetoric that exists from the White House is very much ignites responses that causes events like these to happen around the world.
A message driven home by this Muslim leader.
Mr. Trump, your words matter. Your policies matter. They impact the lives of innocent people at home and globally.
And of course, Trump doesn't care and his base doesn't care. But what's important about communicating that is like that poll number that I think something like less than 20% of Americans think that Donald Trump doesn't like white supremacy. And obviously, it should be 0%. He is what he is. It's objectively obvious. But when you have people who are frankly, you know, good spokespeople for being real, who know how to come across well in a public setting, saying, look, this is what it is. Who do you actually want to be identified with as a person? Do you want to be identified with this grotesque monster in the White House who distracts from or subtly encourages this or indirectly encourages this, or the actual terrorists themselves, or that spokesperson or that woman at the mosque? Who do you actually want to identify with here? And this is another thing that is completely out of all of this, you know, new atheist nonsense of like, oh, I can't criticize religion. Yes, you can criticize religion. And if you haven't been able to connect the dots and see that focusing particularly and extraordinarily on Islam in this environment with these policy sets, with this complete ahistoricity of that subject, that you haven't fed into and helped create this climate, well, you're not a primary cause, but you're a factor. And if you're denying it, you're fucking delusional. Delusional. Or intentionally ill-intentioned. You've just watched a Michael Brooks show video, and you can watch all of our full main live shows every Tuesday night at around 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and subscribe to get all of the clips you want. We're covering the globe. We're focusing on international relations, the intellectual dark web. We're having fun. We're doing deep dives with a lot of amazing guests. Of course, become a patron for the whole thing at patreon.com/TMBS, or subscribe to this YouTube channel and help us keep growing and get that content out there. Subscribe below.